Talk about something that's
All
like,
right, y'all.
oh,
We
we're live.
we're finally live.
Did you post that
It
we were
took
going live?
a minute.
What's up, y'all?
It
Daniel and Kendra here
took us.
doing this new thing.
Yes, we're trying
Uh,
something new today on Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, husband.
Happy Valentine's Day. Beautiful.
So I was thinking about this. You have been my Valentine and I have been your Valentine since 1995. So even though we
Hmm.
started dating in 94, we weren't together on Valentine's Day. Um so but we have been each other's Valentine for almost 30 years, right?
Right?
All right. So I'm going to share oh, it's already sharing on my personal page. So we are live on my personal page. We're live in our Facebook group and we're live on our um, uh,
YouTube?
YouTube. Yeah. So we try to go live in all the places. So we would love for y'all to comment. Let us know where you're watching from. Let us know how you are spending your Valentine Day. Um, for those of you who don't know, I am Kendra Tillman, and you are.
Daniel Tillman.
And we lead a marriage ministry called Living Well Marriage.
Right.
And we have been leading that for about, how come I never know? I think, is it 8 years? Oh, I don't know. We
You
have to
started in
look up what
2014
year
or so?
I think we started in 2014. How did we start, Daniel? Well, you just took a bite of food.
With our Facebook group, right?
we, we the Weekend to Remember conferences.
So, yeah, we weren't like formally calling ourselves Living Well
Mm-hmm.
until we started the Facebook group. But we were taking couples
Mm-hmm.
to the Living Well, not Living Well, Weekend to Remember
Mm-hmm.
years before that. And, we just always had in our own vision for our marriage
Mm-hmm.
was teach other people things that we come to know is good in our own marriage,
Mm-hmm.
to share that with others. And Weekend to Remember was really good for our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of grew from sharing that experience every year with other couples to, hey, let's put together a community that gets together more than just once a year for the
Mm-hmm.
Weekend to Remember.
And one of the things that we noticed from going to those conferences, they were phenomenal. They still are. A Weekend to Remember. They have them all over the country. They're hosted by Family Life Ministries. Highly recommend them. And one of the things that we noticed is that there will be 500 couples at a conference, and there might be 10 Black couples there,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a little bit more than that. And so over time, we wanted to have something that more reflected what our culture is, and it's always just nice to have a diversity of experiences, a diversity of cultures and family life, how different family structures and
Mm-hmm.
all those kinds of things. So over time, it just evolved. And so where we are today is we primarily support couples through marriage small groups. And then we host these events a couple times a year that just really bring couples together, give them an opportunity to date.
That's
Give
our love for real events.
Yep, give couples a chance to meet other couples. Um, so
Yeah, if you've been to one of our love for real events, either it's basically our luncheons.
mm-hmm.
We do them twice a year right now.
Yep.
One in the spring or
Summer now is considered summer.
summer, and one in the during the holiday season,
Mm-hmm.
around December.
Mm-hmm.
And we always love doing those. Those are exciting. People, we got a good niche of folks that just come
Mm-hmm.
every to both of them every year,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just really fun. So if you have been and you're watching this, drop a note and let people know about it. Encourage them to come on out.
Even if you watch it on the replay, you can still drop a comment and let people know that, hey, yeah, I love the events I've been. If you don't like the events, don't worry about commenting.
Yeah. You can tell us behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And what else are we doing?
So we have an event coming up in March. You want to tell them about that?
Yes. So this is an event that I think is very important for couples, no matter if you are doing very well in your relationship or you're going through a rocky time. Understanding how to communicate when you don't see eye to eye,
yes,
is important. So we got a virtual workshop coming up, and the people teaching this are co-partners or co-founders, Dennis and Angie. They're out in Florida. They've been doing counseling for 10 plus years. So they have a lot of insight into couple communication and conflict, how to navigate that, how to correct that. It's going to be something that will bring a lot of value to your marriage. And it's less than dinner and a movie, right? So, and it's going to have bigger impact than dinner and a movie. So we always say invest in your marriage. So right now it's $45. It's a 25% discount. You can get that right now. Just either follow the link. That'll be, I guess my wife will drop it.
Yes, I'm trying to type it in right here.
You're trying to type it in without putting your sleeve in your food.
Right.
Yeah, so you can do the link there, or on any of our pages, mine or hers, we have the links as well. Or if you're in the Facebook group, the link is there. The event is posted on our page, Living Well Marriage, so you can get it from there. So it's a lot of places to get the link, and go ahead and grab that for your marriage. Or
somebody else's marriage that you know, that you feel like it would be a blessing to them. But if you go to love4realevents.com, you'll get all the details about the workshop. So it's Valentine's Day, right? So this is a day where people celebrate love, not just romantic love, right? But all kinds of love.
I thought it was just romantic love.
Is it? Do y'all only celebrate romantic love on Valentine's Day? Do you celebrate Valentine's Day at all? Let us know. I'm curious. Do people celebrate? How would you answer that question? Do we celebrate Valentine's Day?
I guess we do like acknowledge our love on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
But we acknowledge our love throughout the year. In past times, flowers, candy, all those things. We did all the things. Today we're buying each other lunch.
Yeah. So we do something to acknowledge each other. And I'm not a cynical person when it comes to Valentine's Day. I think some people are somewhat cynical about Valentine's. I'm not. I think it's just a fun holiday, just like a lot of other holidays. It's just a day to just, if you have taken each other for granted, for you to be able to stop and not do that. This is actually an ongoing conversation Daniel and I have had, is about, like, the longer you're with someone, I think the easier it actually becomes for you to take them for granted. What do you think?
Absolutely. I totally agree. So you have to, just like anything else in a relationship, you have to pay attention. And when it is happening, or when you don't get don't bring yourself into condemnation. Just think about, how can we correct this? Or how can I correct this? What can I do differently to improve in this area? Because sometimes just going day to day, you can start taking advantage of taking each other for granted.
Because, like, when you become familiar with people, places, things.
Yeah. You say, oh, she always do this, or he always does that. So you're not paying attention to the signs of maybe they're weary, maybe they're tired.
Yeah.
Maybe you can step in every now and then because it's just getting done. So you just kind of take the easy route.
Yeah.
You go sit on the couch, or you go do your thing. while the other person is cleaning up. Or
One of the things I was thinking about is one of the ways that we stop taking each other for granted is like continue to say thank you, like to the person for the things that they do, even though it may be expected or it may be that you've gotten used to it, right? So like when you do open the door for me, I make sure I still say thank you because I don't take for granted that that's something that you would do, right? Or when I cook dinner, you say thank you. Our youngest son, he's really good about saying thank you.
It's huge.
Yeah.
Because if we lived in a society where it was thankless, then hearts would grow cold. I think in marriage is what happens a lot of times is we don't do the things that keep the heart tender.
Yeah.
Like thank you. And so we end up growing apart and resenting having to do stuff that doesn't get appreciated. So
it doesn't get appreciated.
And I know people sometimes think that you should just, you don't get a thank you for that.
Right.
You don't get a thank you for being
right for
husband.
doing. Yeah, you don't get a thank you for doing things that you should do. Right. Like for example, like what's something that you feel like I should do this?
Well, I mean, one thing that you feel that I should do is open doors for you, right? And
I've come to not every time, right?
What you talking about, Kendra?
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that's something I feel like you should do. No. But I mean things like you should take care of your family. You should provide for your family. You should.
So
those kinds of things. That's what I mean. So not necessarily roles and stuff like that.
Because I get up, go to work, kill something, drag it home every single day. Some would say, you don't get a thank you for that. That is status quo. You're supposed to do that.
Yes, exactly.
Keep it moving whether you get a thank you or not. I'm going to keep it moving whether I get a thank you or not, but it sure would be appreciated. Yeah. For the effort that's being put in for me to, get a thank you. Yeah. Right. In return. And I really don't, I guess, understand the mentality that I don't need to thank you for that. Because to say thank you doesn't take much effort. Yeah. To get up every day and go to work 8 hours a day, come home, that takes a lot of effort. So in comparison, to just be able to say, I appreciate you, because there's some people that don't take care of their families. Right? There's some people that don't go to work. There's some people that are just lazy. So to say that, hey, I don't need to thank you for being a husband or for going to work every day. Right. Because you're supposed to be doing that. Right.
That's such an interesting way to.
We are supposed to do a whole lot.
Supposed to do a whole lot of things. Yes. Yeah. Like even like how would we feel if our kids had that attitude? Right. Like when we do things for them. I mean, as they are. Before they're like 16 years old, for the most part, they're extremely dependent on us for everything, right? Yeah. So what if they took the attitude of they never said thank you? Because they're like, you brought me in this world. I didn't ask to be here, and you should be doing this
and
anyway.
How does that make you feel as a parent?
Yeah.
Even though you should buy them clothes. Right.
You should feed them.
But for them to walk around with an attitude or So this is the thing that can get on your nerves as a parent. You buy your kids something, they don't like it, so they turn their nose up at it and say, "How you expect me to go out in public with this? Or why you buy me this and buy me that?" As parents, sometimes we don't make the best fashion choices for our children, and we could have a negotiation with them. Okay, next time you coming with me, let's go together so we can get the right. But I only want to do that if your attitude toward what I've already gotten you is appreciative, even though you didn't necessarily, that's not what you would have necessarily picked out. Come at me with a different attitude, with more of an attitude of honor, appreciation, and and we can talk about the design choices I made for you, or whatever. Because I also don't think it's right for parents to be like, you gonna just wear what I bought you.
Right.
And that's that. You ain't got
that's
no
what
job.
mama,
You ain't
my
got no
mama.
job, you ain't got nothing. So you just gonna wear it and shut your mouth. Right. So I think there's a level of respect on both sides. Because I don't want my kids in public wearing fashion that was back from the 80s that will get them ridiculed. I don't. And if I can do better, I will. But some parents can't do better, right? It depends on your financial situation,
right?
And
yeah,
all of that.
A lot of different things.
But at the end of the day, in our situation, we can. But if I make a mistake in terms of your design choices, children, don't come to me with attitude about it, because now you're entitled. I feel like you're entitled, unappreciative, and I don't want to buy you nothing, right? So
So that's why, like, even so in marriage, if we understand that in a parent-child relationship, it's a fundamental thing, being willing to say thank you.
This reminds me of something.
Okay.
When we first got married. And
I already know the story you're gonna tell.
Birthday?
Yeah. I see a hey, and then I see a hashtag gratefulness. I can't tell who is saying those things, so you have to tell us who you are.
You can go over to Facebook and see it.
All right. So
so when we first got married, I thought I was doing something, and I went and bought you a gift for your birthday.
You were doing something. Something.
And the gift that I bought you was a VCR. Right? And I thought you was just gonna be excited about it. Love it.
He hyped it up so much.
I did.
Yeah, he wrapped it up, and he was like, "This is something you've been saying that you want."
And she when that gift was unwrapped, the look on her face was like, "What is wrong with you?"
No, it wasn't. I had a look of gratitude.
You had a look of surprise.
Surprise. That's a better word.
But it wasn't surprise of, oh, great. It was more,
oh, a VCR. Thank you very much.
So as soon as she responded, I knew. I was like,
so y'all know that was back in the day.
Wrong, or it just wasn't the right choice.
That was back in the 90s.
Yep, and so we had a conversation about that. And I even think you told me you bought that for you. Right?
Now, maybe I don't remember saying that, but that sounds accurate.
Whether you said it or not, it was perceived. It was like, that's how you felt. Like, you ain't get this right. And so we've worked through issues like that. And I don't remember that I thought you were ungrateful. But
I was appreciative. That just was not what I was expecting at all. And
but, I mean, I feel like it was kind of hard for you to appreciate something you didn't want.
I didn't even think about it like that.
So, I mean, I didn't take it too hard.
So, I'm curious, as y'all hear us talking about not taking your spouse for granted, showing appreciation. Part of what is kind of bringing us into this vein of the conversation is I was thinking about pursuit in relationships and how over time it seems like the pursuit in the relationship slows down. What do you think? Do y'all think that the pursuit that you had at the beginning of your marriage has slowed down now that you've been together for a while, or even if you're not married, if you're dating someone, or even just your observations from being in a relationship? Do you see that actually has it slowed down over time? And should we expect it to slow down? Should we expect it to?
Yes, it changes. I think more than slowing down, I think it changes. Because before you are married, you are hunting. Right? You're like, I need companionship, a mate for life, somebody to, from a man's perspective, bear my children, all this. So you're running after that. Once you get married, you want to make a good impression. So your pursuit changes from I'm chasing you to okay, I got you.
I got you now.
And now I want to, do well by you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that's really what's fueling your,
Mm-hmm.
pursuit of maybe date nights or and you want to have a lot of sex when you first get married.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you want your spouse to be impressed.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is your pursuit, right? Because you weren't able to do that before you got, at least in the case of righteousness, you weren't able to do that.
You didn't. Maybe you chose not. You chose to wait. Mm-hmm.
Once the veil has been pulled back, now you can. I'm trying. We live, so I tend to say stuff, and you're like, "Why? Don't say that." So
no, be yourself. Be free. Say what you want to say.
So once you pull the veil back, now you can, do the things, and so that's what your, mind is, and your heart is chasing after once you get married. So that's a little bit, difference in the pursuit there. I don't know. You tell me before I move on to these stages where we're later in marriage. What do you think about those two transitions?
I definitely think there's a transition that happens in marriage where you kind of start to settle in, and you also have a lot more responsibilities as you age, right? Because it's the responsibilities that we had at 21 and 23 when we got married, with no children, no mortgage payments. It was very different than what our life looks like now, right? And so as you take on more and more responsibility in life, and you age and you go through the aging process and all that, and life just does what life does, things aren't the same. Like that same drive and maybe passion that you had for certain things, it's just not there anymore. Someone says, Kathy says, the pursuit has very much slowed down. And I'm totally working on that for him to bring that back, because I missed that. I'm doing my part, so I'm expecting him to do the same because it was so wonderful then. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
But again, I say,
it's one of those things. I feel like you can, what if you have to be really conscious that it's even happening.
But how does it change for you as a woman? Because usually the pursuit is from, or at least
you don't think the woman has a role in the pursuit?
I do, but I want to hear from you what it is. Right? What is your pursuit?
Well, my pursuit is like how I look and how I take care of myself, and
okay,
like I'm reciprocating. I'm picking down. I mean, I'm picking up what you putting down. Like I'm responding. I'm responding to what you are showing me. I'm showing you that I'm interested. I'm showing that I.
So I think that's a mutual agreement. Because after you get married, it is, let me make sure that I am doing what I can to keep us solid. So that you're not looking outside of what we have to fulfill anything that you need.
Amen. Right?
And if that's taking care of my body, taking care of my health, getting the dollars, all of those things are part of my pursuit to keep us close.
Yeah.
And I think that is similar from your side.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, I didn't put these kids. I had your kids.
Yeah. And even if I hadn't had kids, I would still.
Right. But I'm just saying this is our
in our reality.
Yeah,
yes.
I've had your kids.
Yeah.
Making sure they're taken care of.
Yep.
So you see, because again, I wanted you to have my seed, right? And so they're an important part of our legacy. So they're also a part of our pursuit.
Yes, they are part of our pursuit. And I just wonder, like, are we prepared for the lifelong pursuit that marriage is, right? Because even like in your relationship with your kids, I mean, I feel all relationships change over time. But even like the relationship with your kids, it can become really dynamic and change a lot because eventually they're going to be adults, they're going to have their own lives, and they're going to be navigating adulthood and all those things. But like you and I, we've been together since I was 18, you were 20.
He's a tenderoni.
And so you do kind of get into like a rhythm and a groove, and it's very easy to get stuck in a rut
Mm-hmm.
where you do the things the same way, and you know, because you do need those routines in life and those rituals, but that can also make you become very complacent. And also, again, because you have so many added responsibilities, it can also make you just feel like you're too tired to really put in the work and the time and have the passion that you want to have in the relationship.
Yeah, I think later, like where we are right now, with you going through perimenopause and
Going through the change.
and as a man, me fighting sarcopenia, well, we all do, or muscle loss, right? And trying to keep ourselves young, youthful,
Yes.
young,
Yes.
for each other. Like we always say, we want to be like 85 and we still can take care of ourselves.
Yep.
Still got energy, still going to the gym. We want all those,
Yes.
all those things.
Yes, we do.
So now I think that's what the pursuit is like, because the hormones and age,
that's good,
is taking you in this direction, and you have to figure out, how do I maintain a certain quality of life so that we have each other. So you know, so I know in my family there's just certain ailments and illnesses like dementia and asthma and things like that that can take you out early, or that can pull you out of reality. So that, because when you have dementia, you sometimes don't even know your loved ones.
Hi, Belinda.
Hey, Belinda. Yeah, you don't know it. And so that whole time, from the time you run into that to the time you pass on,
yes,
is, you know, a difficult period for your loved ones, right? And we don't have total control. But before those things happen, we do have. So my pursuit is educating myself. Since I know those types of things have run in some folks in my family. My grandmother on my dad's side, her mother and her sister. It was all the women, so it won't necessarily be me. I don't know, but part of my pursuit for keeping us in a healthy place is educating myself on how to be healthy in these areas, how to keep my brain healthy.
That's really good. You know, I'm actually glad you brought up the health part, because one of the questions that we got asked at our December marriage event was, why don't wives initiate more when it comes to sex, right? And interestingly enough, I just heard this ministry that we follow, where there are psychologists as well. They talked about, also, one of the things we don't consider is a person's health. Sometimes, like, the reason why maybe they're taking some type of medication, like there's a lot of factors that can affect why a person doesn't initiate, right? So they don't have that same level of drive sexually that maybe like your partner has, right? And so one of the reasons why we value our health, you know, we're called living well, and living well isn't just about our marriage, like this relationship that we have with each other, but it's also like, how are you taking care of yourself so you can have some longevity, right? And so, like you said, the pursuit of our health can also help our romantic relationship.
Absolutely.
I know you be getting all stirred up and excited about. If y'all don't know, Daniel is the keto evangelist.
So you're gonna pay one way or the other. You're either gonna pay a doctor for your meds, or you're gonna pay your in your education, and in the effort that you put in to keep yourself out of the hospital, right? So that's, you know, I think, and I preach this to my children, to my wife, and everybody that'll listen. That one of the best things you can do for your health is to keep and build your muscle. It's shown through the studies that the more muscle you have, the longer you live, and with the higher quality of life, right? So that's why I always push weights, right? You can run your marathons, you can get on your bikes, you can do all of that, but none of that will extend your life like building your muscle. And it doesn't matter what age you're at. It doesn't matter. You can build muscle from the age of 80. Let's say you've never built muscle and you're 80 years. It's going to be more difficult, but it can be done. I see men and women online all the time. They've gotten sick of being tired and sick. And they were in their 60s, 70s, 50s, and they started lifting weights.
Right. They started exercising, take care of themselves.
They built the muscle, lost the fat, increased the energy, and they live a quality of life better than some 20-somethings.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
this is so that is part of like I honestly wasn't thinking about this, but one of the ways that we are going to be able to continue to pursue each other in our marriage, in our relationship, is making sure that we take care of our physical bodies, right? And so that we have energy, so that we have mental energy, we have physical energy. And I want to talk to the wives or whoever in the relationship is the or.
So Belinda says, "Wow, that's good to know." I'm assuming she's talking about the muscle development. Okay. You can look up a woman named Ernestine. What is her last? Shepherd.
Ernestine Shepherd.
Ernestine Shepherd.
Excuse me.
The woman is 80 years old. Still competing.
She on YouTube videos and everything.
Right. And there are some other older ladies that have followed her and are doing the same thing. So it's out there, and I'll drop a link for those ladies. Since Belinda, you're asking, I'll drop a link for those ladies so you can take a look at kind of what they're doing.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you brought this up and you're talking about it, because it's something I don't think we talk about enough, to be honest. Like,
I know we don't talk about it enough.
Yeah, because your physical health is going to impact every single area of your life. It also impacts your mental health, right?
Yes.
Your mental well-being. And so sometimes the reason we stop pursuing each other is it's just because we tired. Yep. Like you just don't have the energy. You're dealing with sickness, you're dealing with disease, you're dealing with all these problems and challenges. And so
and we just let it happen.
Yeah. Right? And we just let it happen.
So when you are starting to deal with these things, it's a sign that something needs to change. Right. You can't keep going through the same routine. And while you are, as you're getting older and starting to deteriorate. Right. So you got to change something. Something different has to happen.
And I want y'all to see what we're eating. You can't really see. We're eating Mediterranean food. So we have hummus. This is like a yogurt with cucumbers in it. Tzatziki sauce, rice, and then a salad. Guess what? I found your salad. They put it in here.
Oh, what?
They thought and then I had some grilled chicken.
Oh, that was my salad.
Oh yeah, and you know what? They gave me grilled chicken instead of chicken shawarma. Oh no, that was a chicken shawarma. And then Daniel, he also has hero. And we had a side of cucumbers to eat everything
instead of the pita.
Yeah, instead of pita. And our daughter, for Valentine's Day, she made chocolate covered strawberries.
So this is our Valentine's
Day lunch. Our Valentine's Day lunch. And so yeah, because we truly believe, like, we're not just saying this, like it has made a difference for us. Like,
yeah. And in the case of men, the pursuit changes because both men and women start to lose testosterone.
Yes.
Right.
Come on, tell them about testosterone, really, baby.
A problem for men, because then now you got to go, grab some Viagra to stay up to even do it. If you aren't doing the things like I talked about in your health, building your muscle and all of that, doing the exercise, going to the gym, riding the bike, those exercise, actually muscle building actually increases testosterone. Fat help, it's kind of debatable on whether or not fasting increases testosterone or not, but lifting weights or building muscle definitely does. And doing the things that allow you to build muscle will increase your testosterone, losing the fat, building the muscle. That'll help you increase your test. And why do you want to increase your testosterone? Because that increases your desire, your libido, right, to have sex.
Yes.
And I don't know about y'all, but I want to have sex till I go home.
till you go home to be with the Lord.
Married,
so this is Hump Day. If Lakeisha is on here at all, you know, they call Wednesdays Hump Day, and you can think of that in two different ways. And so that's y'all Hump Day tip. So the Hump Day tip is, let me type it in here. Is to do what? What did you say, honey? Your libido, to increase your libido.
Work out. Lift weights to increase your testosterone, which increases your libido.
Work out to increase testosterone. Lord, I know I'm going to spell testosterone incorrectly. How do you spell it?
Testosterone.
Yeah. Which increases libido. Okay. So what about you all? Do you all have any comments, thoughts, questions, anything? We're going to start wrapping this conversation up. We just wanted to hop on and just do a little lunchtime Valentine's Day conversation with you all. And so just curious if anybody has any questions. How are you keeping a pursuit in your marriage going? How do you, like, not just waiting on the other person to pursue? How are you pursuing? So what's one of the ways you pursue me?
I work out. That's my answer for everything.
That's your answer.
No, definitely working out. I want, and you can tell me if this is working or not. Okay. I work out because I want to look good for you. Right? I want, when you look at me, your eyes light up just like they used to light up when I was younger and all cut. And I tell this story all the time. The reason I started working out was because my son, when I saw him at like 15 or 16, I was like, I used to look like that. And I started not looking like that. And I was like, although my wife was always like, you know, I love you no matter what. She would love me no matter what. But she would really love how I look if I have, you know, muscle on on my body.
You said that you didn't want the engineering belly.
I don't know engineering pot belly. Most engineers that walk around have a pot belly. And, you know, no disrespect to any pot belly engineers.
Yeah, and he could say that because he's an engineer. He's an engineer.
Right. I wanted to be a person who was always fit. Right. Because again, being fit helps you be healthier.
Yes.
And live longer.
Yes.
With a higher quality of life. So yeah. So that's how one way that I pursue you. And you tell me if it works for you.
It absolutely works. Yes, absolutely works. My favorite thing to see is your arms. your strong, muscular arms. Watching you do at 50 years old, watching you do muscle ups in the gym. Yes. Yes. That's part of your mating call. That's part of his mating call is he do muscle ups in the gym.
And I couldn't do muscle ups before I was 40.
So yeah, absolutely it works. Let me think. How I feel like one of the ways that I pursue you is that I do initiate sex. Like that was something in those early years of marriage.
I love that.
In those early years of marriage, I really didn't as much. But over time, confidence and just realizing that a lot of that, if I wanted to enjoy sex, that I needed to initiate sometimes, and I needed to like embrace it.
So one of the things that I think you had to drop in terms of your mentality about that was if I wasn't initiating, I didn't want it. Right. Or that
you didn't want it.
Like that.
Okay. If you weren't initiating, that meant you didn't want it. That's what I was thinking.
I think I think there's a mentality in marriage where, you know, if the man isn't chasing or initiating or then something must be wrong. Something must be wrong with me. Right. So
That the woman is feeling like something is
Yeah,
wrong with her.
right.
Okay.
Why
got
don't
it.
you want me?
Yeah.
It's not, men deal with their own stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It ain't got nothing to do with
Yes.
what's going on with you. It's
Mhm.
got everything to do with what's going on with him. It could be
Yes.
insecurities. It could be, like you said, just being tired,
Mhm.
being worn out,
Mhm.
being diseased.
Mhm.
Also, I can't get up, whatever,
Mhm.
right? It could be all those things. And so he has a lot to work, pressures at work. So he has a lot
Yep.
to work through
Mhm.
sometimes in order to be there.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Mhm. So yeah. So that's one of the ways that I pursue you. So here we got a homework question for y'all, not for us, for your spouse. Maybe you watch this video with them, or maybe you just talk about how can you all pursue each other more. Like maybe something, or maybe you just decide to do something you don't even tell your spouse, right?
Yeah.
And you just start doing one thing differently to actively pursue them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And get I think one of the most important things is being in each other's space and enjoying that. Like we have certain, we don't watch a lot of TV, but there are certain shows that if she likes them and she wants to watch it, she'll call me and say, "Hey, will you watch this with me?" And I'll sit right there beside her.
That's another really good one.
Sometimes the shows are to my liking as well. Sometimes they're not, but I'm still right there by her side, even if I'm falling asleep.
Yeah, we watch Traitors together now. That's our show.
The Walking Dead. C.
Right? Yeah, C.
That was one that I suggested.
It was excellent.
Right. So we do stuff like that to stay in each other's company.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I just thought a conversation like this is good because you see the glitz and glamour of Valentine's Day sometimes, and I think I don't poo-poo on any of that. I think all of it is great. There are some years where we can go all out and fancy, and then some years it's not, whatever you want to do. But just really what's really important is that you all are communicating what your needs are, and that you are continuing to pursue each other.
Yes.
And you never let the pursuit of your spouse die. Don't ever let it go.
Right.
Don't ever take it for granted.
Yep. It changes over time. And that's a good thing because we change. Our situation is changing. Our marriage is maturing. Right. So it needs to change, but that's okay. So again, we got a workshop coming up.
Yep, in March.
March 23rd. Yeah. And it's going to be led by Dennis and Angie. They are counselors.
Yep.
So they have a lot of insight into conflict and communication, and they're going to share all of that with you.
Yes.
It's cheaper than dinner in a movie. It's $45 right now. Grab your spot. They're all limited. So grab your spot while it lasts. And we hope to see you guys there. We're excited for you. Thank you for being a part of this community.
Yes.
Thanks for hanging out with us for lunch.
Yes.
We appreciate it. And we'll talk soon.
All right, y'all. Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay. Bye-bye.